That bitch breaks off.
Quick video, I need to pee. Let me grab my little script. Okay, so I have filmed this video twice already. The first time, I tried to be a little bit more creative with the camera angle and a little bit funky with the colours. She's so orange.
Girl, look how orange you look, girl.
And I look so fucking arrogant. The second time, yes, I'm wearing the same t-shirt. I do have a washing machine. I filmed it a few days ago. This has been washed. I accidentally deleted like 40% of the footage. I had one clip that was of just me biting my lip, waiting to start recording, and then I had about 15 minutes of actual footage of me talking, and I deleted that. And I have a very long clip of me just eating my lips. So anyway, we're back. I basically want to talk about managing money, managing finances. I am absolutely not a lawyer, I am not an accountant, I am not a financial advisor, I am not even very intelligent. So if you want to follow the advice, go ahead. If you don't want to, also fine. This is just what I've done to organise myself since I moved here, and it's worked really well for me. It was actually recommended to me by my friend, and I've now recommended it to two of my friends, and they both really like the advice. So here I am sharing. Moving to London is not a particularly easy task. I think moving here as a student is probably one of the easiest ways to do it because most of us can be funded, partially at least, by sweet student loans. I'm going to start by talking about my experience with... I'm just going to talk about my experience managing my money here in London and how I use this structure to finance my very simple little life. So basically, I moved to London around September in 2018 for university, and when I moved here I had about £1,000 saved up from a couple of part-time jobs that I had. I knew that I was going to be moving to London before the first of the student maintenance loan payments, and I just knew that the first few weeks of me living here were going to be the most expensive. I mean, like, I'm from Lincolnshire. Have you ever seen a Vietnamese restaurant in Lincolnshire? A Korean restaurant? No, trick question. The answer's no. I knew that I'd want to eat out a lot, and that would be how I make friends and socialize in the first few weeks because I'm not really big into freshers or drinking and going out. I was also really lucky in that I was eligible for the full maintenance loan, so that was about £11,000.
He got money, get it all for him.
So with some advanced algebra, we can see that 11,000 plus 1,000 is 12,000. That was the amount of money that I had to live on for the whole year. So my first year, I lived in student accommodation. I lived in a place called Manor Ash. It's right by Southwark Station in London, SE1, Zone 2, maybe 1? Anyway, it's a student accommodation block for the UAL colleges. The room that I had there looked like this. And it was about £212 a week. This is including bills. Since I lived there, I think they've renovated, well, they have, I know for a fact, they've renovated the whole place and they've increased their prices. I think it's now £230 a week, but when I was there it was £212. So as you can see from the very artistically shot video, we have a room with an ensuite. There are 7 bedrooms in each flat, each with an ensuite, all just identical rooms. And then there's one very large, shared, perpetually messy, quite disgusting kitchen. Most student accommodation blocks understand that their students are going to be paying for their rent from their student maintenance payments, so you can pay your yearly rent in 3 installments when you get your maintenance payments, which is super helpful. I don't have that kind of cash lying around all at once. So the first payment is in September, second one is in January, third one is in April, and each time the payment is slightly less because it reflects the decreasing amount of time between payments. So I just said that they renovated the place. They renovated it over the summer, so my contract was only for 42 weeks, not 51 like normal, which meant that I wasn't allowed to stay there over the summer. I had to move out in June, but my overall yearly rent was cheaper, obviously because it's for less time. But anyway, so for 42 weeks at 12, what the fuck? So for 42 weeks at £212 a week, again, advanced algebra, we can see that my rent for the academic year was about 8,420. No, it wasn't, it was 8,480. I can't read. So £12,000 minus 8,480 leaves me with about 3,520. And that money is what I use to live off for the September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. 10 months I was there. Now, I also went to Japan for 2 weeks at the start of September. As soon as I moved to London, I moved in, I was there for 3 or 4 days, and then I went on holiday for 2 weeks. Obviously, I'd paid for my flight and my hotel long before, but about £500 of that 3,520 was spending money in Japan. That was just the money I used for food and gifts and vibes. So I actually had about £3,000 to live off in London. So 3,000 divided by 42 weeks is about £70 a week. And that, children, was my budget. Like I said earlier, my friend was the one that recommended this method of organising your finances to me, and I'd never heard it before or heard anyone talk about it before, and it's so simple and just more people should be doing it. So if you're going to be living in student accommodation, or you're going to be paying your rent with your bills included at set intervals throughout the year, you're going to want to open a cash ISA or a second bank account. Cash ISA is just easier though. So I had all of my savings, and then anytime I got any of my maintenance loan, all of that money went straight into the cash ISA. Since I'd worked out that £70 a week was my budget for food and vibes, I would just transfer £70 into my current account every Monday, or choose any arbitrary day of the week. I just chose Monday because I moved to London on a Monday. That way, when you're spending on your card and you're checking your bank account at an ATM or on your phone, you can see your weekly budget, and it's very difficult to overspend, because if you want to overspend, you need to open your damn app, put in all your information, you need to transfer that extra money into your current account. There's a few extra steps, and in those steps, you're kind of thinking with your one brain cell, do I really want this bag?
Yes, I do.
Cash ISAs or second accounts are good as well, because you always have access to the money if you need it. Moving anywhere is unpredictable, and being a uni student is also unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen. Coronavirus happened.
Coronavirus!
And plenty of students need extra cash available to them. So you want to make sure that you still have access to all of your money. We just exercise some self-control. So using this setup makes it very difficult to overspend, because you only have your weekly budget in your current account. For students not living in student accommodation, people who have to pay their rent and bills separately, I would recommend, basically what I do now is I have 2 bank accounts, Lloyd's, and then I opened a Monzo. I opened a Monzo because the card's cute and they have a really good exchange rate if you use your card abroad, and you can just apply for it all on your phone. You don't have to go anywhere and meet anyone and speak to anyone. So I no longer have the cash ISA, but my Lloyd's bank account has become what the ISA was. So my Monzo current account will have my weekly budget, and then there is a savings pot opened through Monzo, which is where all of my savings go, and all of my extra money, all of the money from my job, everything just goes in there, and I just transfer my weekly budget into my current Monzo account. I've just moved house, so I've just done it again, but part of moving house is Excel spreadsheets. It's just the way. So I have this spreadsheet that has my breakdown of my rent, my utility bills, and then my subscriptions, just everything that I pay for, like gym and phone and stuff. And then you get a value at the bottom. That value should be in that bank account at the start of every month. And then you know that for the whole month, all of your bills are covered, your rent is covered, all of your subscriptions, your phone bill, your gym that you never use, everything is covered, and you can't accidentally spend too much money and eat into that money, because when you're spending money, you're using your current account on Monzo. So at the start of every month, I would transfer about £900 into my Lloyd's account, and that account is where my rent comes from, all my bills, all of my subscriptions, and I know that all of those are covered and I don't have to worry. And then I would transfer at the start of every week my weekly budget into my Monzo current account, and then I know that when I'm spending on my phone or my card, I can never go over my weekly budget and I can never eat into my bill money. And then I have the rest of my savings really easily available to me if I want to make an expensive one-time purchase, if I want to buy a game or train tickets somewhere, or just a really bougie meal. I definitely think there's a balance between saving and organising your money and being controlled and restrained. And not enjoying your life at all because you're terrified to spend money. There is a happy place in the middle where you're allowed to live. I still don't know how to sign off a video. She's got candy floss in here.